Hello and welcome to the Valley Forge Disc Golf Association's 2021 Winter at Valley Forge, presented by Valley Forge Sports Network. We're here at Camp Tecumseh Disc Golf Course. I'm Chris DeMarco, joined by Lefty McGovern and Dan Schifrin. Now, Lefty, this is not a sanctioned event, but it is a VFDGA major. How excited are you for the action here today?
I think a lot of people were excited, being that it's the last event of the year for us, and the fact that we're stepping out of our home course and going to beautiful Camp Tecumseh. A lot of people were excited, and it showed on that day for sure.
Dan, we got a really interesting feature card here today. We're going to redistribute the card after the front nine to get that lead card back nine. What are your thoughts going into the round?
Yeah, I'm really super excited to see the action today. I wasn't able to attend, unfortunately, so I'm going into this completely blind. Really excited to see the results and seeing Jacob and Jimmy play on camera for the first time.
Very true. Folks, Camp Tecumseh, let's head down to hole one and get things started here at the Winter at Valley Forge. Par 3, 229 feet. What seems like a very simple right to left hyzer shot does get a little tricky if you find yourself in the rough. And this green kind of sits on a 5-6 foot elevated basket. So for AM disc golfers, you're always going to have to hit a 14, 15 footer.
To play at a VFDGA event, sponsored by Bria and Discraft. Lefty, just zoom in on that. Look at the talent. Wow. What was I doing when I was 11? I was skateboarding horribly, probably. Can't confirm.
Here he is. I kind of want to call Jacob the man of the hour. Is that okay?
I think it is. I saw Jacob play for the first time about a year ago, and I was so blown away by this young kid's easy power off the tee. Only 15 years old, I believe.
I think he was going with his Ulibarri zone there. Going to see him throw a lot of Discraft, obviously. We got Jimmy Wang on the tee, older brother of David Wang. I'm a huge fan of his game. I know him and Jacob play together quite a bit, so it's nice to see them both out here. Both of them kind of found themselves in some trouble off to the left side there, but we'll see what they can do to scramble out. Kevin O'Brien, Valley Forge native from the cul-de-sac of Valley Forge Drive. Pewers one up the gap with the backhand. Really happy to have him here on feature card today.
And Kevin's a great player, but it seems like he'll be a little bit overshadowed today with Jacob and Jimmy being on this card, even though Kevin is no slouch.
And speaking of great players, rounding out the card here, we have Chris DeMarco, our very own, throwing, I believe that was a Warden off the tee. I know you like to go with the putters a lot.
Yeah, big Warden guy. Kind of found myself in some trouble early here, but
it's actually a really smart disc choice because, as you were saying in the preview, even though it is a right to left hole, if you throw something straight for 230 feet, you will have a 25-foot putt most likely.
Yeah, it's like I was saying, for AM golfers, there's almost no gimme here because the little bit of that elevation that the basket sits on, it makes this such a good starting hole. You're almost guaranteed to have to hit a 14, 15 footer. Tough break for Jacob there, but at least he's in the fairway now. Should be able to get up and down for his 4.
It seems like this green helps the upshot sit a little bit better. It is really rocky, and there is that elevation, so you don't see a whole lot of rollaways. Once you get it up there, it really is up there, as we see Jacob go for a nice little shot, and he'll like the look of that.
Yeah, I'm glad he went conservative there. Just give himself a look at the 4. You know, we saw at the Battle of Greystone Woods, the performance was about 40, 50, in some cases even 60, 70 points worse than the player's rating. So as to say that the camera pressure clearly adds a different element out there. We'll see how these guys handle it today. I know, obviously, I've had a couple rounds on camera, but never in a competitive environment like this.
It's looking pretty cold out there with Jimmy sporting a pretty thick North Face.
Yeah, he's got a full-blown jacket on. I was telling him, I can't even putt with my sleeves down. I have to pull them up every time. He's out here with a literal winter jacket. Nice putt from about 16 from Jacob there. That was no gimme, especially for the 4. Happy to see him clean that up. And Dan, you're absolutely right. It was extremely cold. You can see the flag. The wind is just roaring. And shout out to Camp Tecumseh, man. This course is so awesome. The fact that they've added the flags is incredible. Hole 2, par 3, 317. Now this is a hole where there's trouble looming down the entirety of the fairway. It does have a little bit of a left shape, finishes with a little bit of a right shape. You can see how heavily guarded it is right in front of that water ravine there. There's a tree early on the right side and left side, so you really kind of have to throw a bit of a snaky shot here You see Kevin kind of trying to throw a left to right hyzer that would turn late, but unfortunately with that backhand spin, he finds himself all the way over to the right. Definitely in some trouble there.
Hey Chris, how did you guys decide the feature card for this event?
Yeah, great question. Honestly, it's kind of an ask and ye shall receive kind of thing. I had heard from Jimmy that Jacob, after seeing Battle of Greystone Woods, wanted to be filmed by us. So honestly, as soon as Jimmy said that, I was like, all right, let's throw another event. I wasn't even planning on doing this. Rough kick off the tree there. Unfortunately, that one does go OB. But yeah, pretty much Jacob had asked to be on coverage. I know he was really close with Jimmy, so I figured we'll put them both together. And then we got Kevin O'Brien. He's been around since the very beginning as Jacob kind of throws one a little wide, kicks over to the left. Should be able to scramble for par there. Jimmy coming from quite deep down the fairway here. Let's see if he can get up and down for the 3. But yeah, pretty much Jimmy and Jacob felt like a no-brainer after Jacob asked to be covered by us. Kevin, such a great guy. He's been around since the beginning. I definitely felt like he deserved a spot. And I felt like I deserved a spot too, because I've actually never lost one of these events that I've competed in. It's been a long history of throwing these events, but it's been such a long time that I've played. I felt like it was only right to get me on feature card.
I really like that mentality. You know, it's been so long since you've competed like this in disc golf, and sort of a sink or swim mentality. Just dive right in, you know?
Yeah.
Camera's rolling.
And we could dial it back a little bit. Yeah, you last competed competitively in 2019, and that year you had a whole bunch of top 6 finishes. You had a couple of wins to boot. So the people on this channel might not have seen you play a lot as you dunk your foot in the water.
Oh no. We're talking about some of the adversity you faced coming back into the sport. That was a very amateur play from me.
He forgot that the water was wet.
And shout out to Jimmy, by the way, on that sidearm upshot. You guys see how close he was at just absolutely canning that from 100?
Absolute laser beam at the basket.
Yeah, I think he will be looking at the 4, unfortunately. But really nice effort. He's got one of the better forehand upshots in the AM field. Always fun to watch him play. Such a versatile guy. Kevin, even though he definitely doesn't release very high, but I have to say he is committed on his putts. It looks like he's not, as Jacob cleans up another tester from about 16. But yeah, Kevin's got such an interesting putt. It doesn't look like he's committing, but he really is.
He's got a lot of pop out of the hand. Like you said, he starts it low, he releases it low, but he pops it really nicely.
Biggest muscles in the association.
Oh, they're huge.
That was low.
Yeah, he releases low and hits the bat. You'll see him hit the basket low often as well.
It's a good tap in for the bogey. Unfortunate break off the tee shot.
All right, hole 3, par 3, 273. Absolutely ridiculously narrow gap off of the tee. Probably the tightest gap in New Jersey in terms of off the tee there. Rest of the hole kind of finishes up left to right. Believe it or not, there is even more danger looming behind the basket. You've got a little bit of water OB right there, that same creek from hole 2. So this is one where it would be nice to get a look at the 2. I have seen it done, but really, honestly, you're just trying to get through this gap.
As Jacob can't find the hole.
Yeah, it can't be stated enough. It already looks really small on camera. But when you step up to this tee, this gap seems... I mean, I've played this course so many times, and I still get so scared trying to hit this gap. Sometimes I just go around to the right and hope I get it, over to the green.
Yeah, and Jacob had mentioned after missing that, he said, I can't remember the last time I missed that gap. And honestly, I believe him. He's got one of the more clean sidearm releases that I've ever seen in my life, coverage or not. Jimmy pushes that one a bit too straight. He may have a look at the 2, but either way, again, I'd say for the AM field we're seeing here today, you're going to be fine with a 3 on this hole, I think, guys.
Backhand turnover is a really, really tough play on this hole.
Yeah, you saw I didn't commit to that flat angle. I wanted to stick to my comfortable hyzer because I was so afraid.
Yeah.
And I had hit that shot a couple times in practice, but it's just so hard to commit. Jacob left with almost nothing here. Really found himself in a rough spot there. But he's going to the zone here. A little bit closer. Let's see if he can get up and down. Save his 4 on this one. That's not where you want to be looking at a bogey 4.
Yeah.
But he does have a really solid putt. We'll see if he can cash out.
Looks like you're chipping up your zone here. And you are dry.
Yeah, really big ground play.
The danger of these first couple holes could really set the tone here for your round.
Yeah, this course is so incredible. I mean, you're starting out, the first 9 is heavily in the woods, the back 9 opens up. There's OB at every corner, there's narrow shots, there's elevation, tunnel shots. I mean, it's just such a versatile, interesting course.
Absolutely.
You can see the woods isn't thick enough to prevent the wind either, so that's adding a whole new element here today.
Not to mention, a lot of these holes are very scoreable,
Yeah.
but they have teeth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the more interesting courses to look at in terms of rating distribution. I can't even really put it to words, but there's a weird curve on this course where you don't really get many credit for points beyond scores like neg 6, neg 7. So to drop like a 10-10 rated round, which I don't think we'll see anyone here do today, is incredibly hard. It scores very interestingly.
Jacob just off the tray there for his bogey 4. And you actually went a little long of the basket there.
Yeah, I think there was a big, huge flare skip there, going with the Z zone. I think it was a bit of a mistake there. Left to right wind kind of knocked that one down. And this is not the putt you want for a comebacker, at least if you're an am disc golfer.
A rocky footing uphill putt, but Chris finds it. I don't think anyone had any doubts. I honestly thought that he was going to make that first one.
Yeah, a bit of a rough start for our players. Undoubtedly, the nerves are a factor competing for a VFDGA major like this. And it can't be stated enough. It's so cold out there. I mean, not as cold as December probably should be. But,
And is Kevin the only one that's competed on camera here?
I don't think he has. When has he played on camera?
No, I think this is his first time.
So
Yeah, this is his first time as well.
A full card of rookies here, and that seems like it's affecting.
Hole 4, par 4, 428 feet. Very straightforward tee shot off the tee. You pretty much want to try to hit this landing zone dead straight, and then it's going to hook up quite a bit of elevation coming up to the basket. Not too much danger on this second shot. If you can get yourself positioned well, the second one's really where you can attack. But you will occasionally see players try to sneak off to the right-hand side. The hole probably only measures about 310 feet if you do go with this backdoor route on the right side, which Kevin kind of just went up the gut there. He'll have a little bit of an interesting scramble to get there for the look at the 3. But this one does score relatively easy for a 4.
And Chris, you said before how crazy this course is with elevation. I mean, this goes straight uphill, and then the next hole is straight downhill. There's no breaks.
Yeah, I think when you think about like opportunistic usage of the land, you have to give so much credit to John Copeland for the way this course is built. I really think, it's probably pound for pound my favorite course in New Jersey. Maple Hill is definitely a favorite in terms of just like, tournament level courses, but pound for pound, I think this is one of the better courses out there because of the way he used the land. I mean, it comes back to the parking lot after 9. It starts out in the woods, finishes out in the open. I mean, you really cannot say enough about how amazing this course is. And it's only getting better.
I'll get through that.
Jimmy takes a similar route to you there,
Great
Chris,
spot.
trying to throw a forehand and land in that clearing.
Yeah, Jacob just absolutely pures this one. And I'm not sure if he meant to kind of crash that hyzer in early, but I love that play. Really trying to attack the elevation portion of the latter half of this hole here. That should give him a look for the eagle. Long look, but a definite look for the eagle too. And I'll say it again, his form is buttery.
Yeah, his form is reminding me a lot of Paul Macbeth, actually. It seems like a lot of these Joe Mez era young people are really, really modeling their form after, the Pauls and the Rickies. So I noticed on his backhand, it's very Paul-like, and the forehand is just the same.
Yeah. Good.
Not a bad
Good.
Not a bad person
Yeah.
to model your form after.
Good form.
Those almost 6-time world champion titles will.
Yeah, interesting tidbit about Jacob. He, over the course of his tenure playing in the PDGA sanctioned events, He's had 21 different rating updates throughout his career. 18 of them had an increase in his rating. So 18 out of 21 times that he's gotten a rating, it's increased. And I mean, that when you think about that level of consistency, starting out, I think at like 11 or 12 as a player, I mean, to have the mental game to do that, let alone the physical skill, is so impressive. I'm really excited to see where this kid's gonna go.
Yeah, in golf, the mental is definitely more impressive to me than the physical, because he's an athlete. He's going to be able to do these things. He's young. He's going to adapt. He's going to grow. But it's the fact that he can come out here with these types of players and show off a little bit.
Yeah, deep putt from Kevin here. And this came at a crucial moment. If you saw, the rest of the card had a really, really pretty close look for the birdie 3. So for him to kind of stick with the card there and hit that, very clutch from him. Nice putt from Kevin.
Tricky putt here for you for your birdie 3.
There it is.
Cash money.
Staying on pace.
Yeah, definitely the first 5 are very challenging here at Tecumseh. I think for our field, getting through the first 5 at even should find yourself in a good position to attack the rest of the course. I don't consider myself to be like a big distance player or anything, but I do still feel like the latter half of the course, the longer, more open holes, are a lot more scoreable.
We got a star frame.
Yeah,
here.
nice little star frame. Now, speaking of scoreable, this hole is not
at
definitely one of the more challenging par 3s you will ever see. Par 3, 460, bit of a winding tee shot. A lot of guys like to go with the Anheuser sidearm that kind of flexes out to this landing zone here. And I mean, best case scenario for our field, you're going to see maybe an 80-foot look for the birdie. If you try to cut things off a little too early and go inside hyzer, you're going to find yourself in some serious trouble.
And you guys know better than me, but a lot of talk on the day was that this hole was scored a 3 instead of a 4 because the previous hole was scored a 4 instead of a 3.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of the locals say about this course, is that yes, it is a tough 3, but if you look at the hole before it, it's a pretty generous 4. So I think overall, you kind of get through the course, and as a whole, I think it's okay. But this hole definitely causes a little bit of controversy amongst the field, I think.
One thing that's really tricky about this hole is that due to the extreme downhill elevation, you actually can't really see the fairway from the tee. It kind of just looks like you're shooting into a wall of trees. And as we watch Chris here throw a flex forehand, the fairway actually shapes best for this shot. You want it to kind of drag a little bit to the left and then finish right.
Yeah, I think Jacob's probably just going to go with one of these smash hyzer flip-ups, though. He just loves that comfort hyzer. Let's see what he does.
Get through that.
Yep.
There it is. And
see, so if you can get there with that, if he stretches that out a little bit straighter, that may actually be the best way to get max distance. Hit your turn around the corner, and then you might be able to actually push into circle 2 for the look.
Right.
I'm going to get on the Jacob bandwagon a little bit again and just say that this kid at just 15 years old already has 10 career wins.
What?
And one of them being an open win at the fall flyover just a couple of weeks ago, where Jimmy Wang, a beast, a known beast, won MA1 and Jacob won open. So that just goes to show the trajectory of this kid's career.
I think Jacob actually was an assistant TD at that tournament too. So I'm going to just hop right on that bandwagon with you as we see me throw my 17th zone upshot of the day from scramble position. Now, Kevin, let's talk about Kevin here. What a sidearm. It doesn't look the cleanest, but he literally just started throwing sidearms like 5-6 months ago. It took me halfway through the round to realize he was even doing it because I've only seen him throw backhands. Eventually I wrote, wait a second, like when did you start working on that? He's got a field behind his house. I imagine he's been back there throwing some forehands, but gets himself up and down for an easy look at the 3.
You know the O'Briens love their practice rounds.
Yeah, definitely. And Jimmy with another bid on the basket here from a little over 100. A couple feet shy of absolutely canning that one. He's got such a conservative forehand. He's got a little bit of a nose-up angle to it, probably from all that ultimate he's played in his day. But I'm so envious of the way he's able to get bids on the basket while still not even coming close to blowing by it or anything.
Got Jacob here for his 3.
Good run.
Ooh, just off the cage. That is a very, very smooth putting stroke, though. Yep.
Easy tap in for Chris DeMarco.
Really nice to see the energy on the card. Still light, you know. Not everyone is, excuse me, I think no one is under par yet, but spirits are still light, and there's a lot of scoreable holes coming up, so a lot of good disc golf.
We do have Kevin at neg 1, but yeah, I think everyone here knows that the beginning portion of this course is the more challenging one. And as we take a look at the leaderboard through 5, we did a timed start to this. This is a really accurate look at what's going on here out in the field. Shout out to Scott DeMarco and Kevin O'Brien leading the charge here at -1 in first place. We've got Jimmy, Wang, and Paul Bolanich coming in at even. Paul looking to make a push to get on that back 9 lead card. And me and Travis Rollins sitting at +1, rounding out in 5th. So interesting spread, nothing too crazy throughout the first 5, but again, I think for the AM field, you're not really looking to attack too hard until you get to this hole, hole 6, par 3, 234. Pick your poison left or right. You just got a little bit of a windy shot going up the hill. And really, I think this is one of those shots where the first portion of the shot is going to dictate your success. There's really not too much trouble you can get in on the latter half of the flight. You see Kevin kind of peered the gap there, turned it out way too wide, but still has himself a look. So it's really, I think, just the first half of the tee shot you got to worry about here.
Jimmy here flexing over a forehand. I know he likes his streamlined discs. That looks like it may have been a flare. Really overstable fairway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think he was trying to go left side gap there. It looked like he wanted to flex it around the right. I'm not sure if he missed his line or if that was just a little too high.
And we got you here, Chris, on the tee with, I think you're tie-dye felon or dye job felon, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. Yeah, that was the felon. Just didn't get over enough on it. I got to tell you, I just started throwing a lot of sidearms in my game. It's a useful tool, but throwing them in the cold is a really big challenge. It adds a whole new element to playing in the cold. It's a lot easier to throw backhands out there with cold fingers.
Jacob with a good line, unfortunately just a little too low.
Yeah, I think he was going to get a really nice skip, but kind of hit that log there.
Yeah.
Jimmy from deep.
Shocker, Jimmy Wang, upshot, forehand, money.
I kind of think Jimmy is one of those Travis Rollins type guys. It's so hard to decide. Does he have a better sidearm or backhand?
Or is Travis Rollins a Jimmy Wang guy?
Maybe Travis Rollins. Travis is not. Travis is gonna hate that you just said that. Furthering your guys' rivalry. Not sure if anybody here watches the Valley Forge Disc Golf League. It's a 4-team league, triple scramble. But if you do, you'd know that Travis and Lefty have a massive rivalry.
Listen, Jimmy's finished 3 of his last 4 tournaments in the top 2. Travis, where you at, kid?
Yeah, Travis is out there in Colorado just realizing he can't throw far. No, I'm playing. Long putt off the flag for me. I think me, Jimmy, and Jacob both just trying to kind of get a little bit of a jolt to our round here. You know, like I said, you know that this is the portion of the course where you can really start to attack. I'm sure Jacob is feeling a little bit disappointed that he's at +3 right now. He is seeming to keep his composure pretty well out there, but at this point in the round, we've still got 2/3 left. It really is anyone's game out here. Hole 7 coming up. This is without a doubt my favorite hole in New Jersey. I know I've kind of said that a lot today, but we're at Camp Tecumseh. Give me a break. I love the place.
You've also won here, so I think you have the authority to say that every hole's your favorite hole.
All right, hole 7, par 5, 755 feet. Incredible tee shot. You're going to want to get one pretty straight. If you see out in this open side, the right side is a little bit more open, and that'll get you some better positioning to attack the fairway here. Besides this one tree on the left of your screen right there, it really is a very true, very open fairway, and you're probably going to want to finish out with a little bit of a right to left shot, whether it's a backhand hyzer or a little turnover sidearm. Realistically, you kind of want to ride the right side of the fairway the whole way here. And I would say that the first and the third shots are the ones where you really want to be attacking.
Oh, wow. Is that a...
While we're on the subject, I do just want to give one. I'll try to make this the last shout out to Camp Tecumseh. If you've ever played in an event here, it's not just the track itself. The food that they give you in between rounds, those burgers are absolutely decadent. The players' packs are always so decked out. John Copeland and all the guys here, I just can't say enough about them. And I mean, what do we have to say about this shot, Dan? What?
Holy cow, he striped it. That's the perfect landing zone for the drive.
Yeah, incredible from Jimmy Wang. I would love to be able to go sidearm here. That works so well for the shape of this hole.
The backhand has a lot more potential for distance if you can kind of stand something up, get it to turn a little bit.
Like that? Oof.
Almost like that. That's still a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think that's almost better. I think that was a very generous tree kick right there. Get me right in the center of the fairway.
Right. That's a great spot for the backhand. So
now at this point in Jacob's round, I really would like to see him pick things up a bit. He's had a few tough breaks. I mean, this is just an absolute smash from the scramble here on hole 7. That should get him in position. He might even be able to attack and still get a look at the 4. And Kevin, who's leading the charge until this point, finds himself a bit out in the rough. And you know, if you saw his drive, it really was pure up the fairway.
Shout out Johnny Eckert. Wish he could be here right now.
Yeah.
Unless the
Shout
shot
out
goes
Johnny.
poorly, in that case, I hate you.
But yeah, Kevin's shot was dead center fairway, but then just stalled out a little bit. You saw how much trouble he was in, so it just shows you really want to land this one flat off the tee. I think if I played this course often, I'd probably disc down to a mid-range, honestly.
really solid second there from you, Chris.
Yeah, just trying to get myself positioning on the fairway. Again, I think the first and third are the ones where you really want to try to attack here. Kevin wasn't able to find too much distance there, but I think he should have a chance to attack the basket from there, maybe get a chance to do something nice here. Jimmy Wang.
Yeah, Jimmy, way to do with that hill.
This is a really great camera angle because, as the people at home can see, there is a fairway, but it's very, very small.
Yeah, and what you couldn't see there because of the little score bug on the bottom, Jimmy was actually on a bit of an incline there, positioning-wise. He's one of the more resilient players when it comes to not only distractions on the course, but like I noticed he can step off the back of the tee onto the tee and it doesn't affect him. Like he really seems to just be unaffected by anything out there. It's impressive.
Yeah.
As Jimmy with Jacob, with another unfortunate tree hit. This kid is getting no tree love at all on this course.
Yeah, a couple tough breaks for him so far. I mean, you can see in his game, he has, I don't even want to call it potential. He just has a lot of skill. But this is a course that has a lot of teeth.
We'll just stay quiet.
Teeth, I was going to throw up his scorecard, but, I mean, you know, we got a whole VFDGA season. We got videos to make here. Kevin, tough break, trying to lean out. See if he can get a look up there for the 5, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be rough for him at this point. And this is where you want to be. Nice look right up the tunnel.
Looks like you're going with that green warden there for your third, and that is inside the circle for birdie.
Yeah, that's that BGW warden. Shout
Yeah,
out
you should go watch
Discs.
that.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Battle of Graceful Woods, you're missing out. Although I think at this point we've got as many viewers as we could have possibly asked for.
Yeah, the response was really awesome, you guys.
Yeah, thank you everybody for that. Jimmy Wang, sidearm up shot. Tough to get more from that position he was on. I mean, maybe he could have gotten a little bit of turn out of it, but with the way that the basket finishes up right to left, if you want to go right side here, it really is tough to access it from the left. So I think all things considered, he'll be happy with that look for the 4. It's interesting. I saw Michael Scardino out at Tecumseh a couple days ago when I was capturing some drone footage. He asked him about the tournament. We were talking about some of the players, and he mentioned he had played with Kevin, and he was like, "Oh, he must play a lot of Ultimate, right?" Funny thing is, Kevin never played Ultimate. He just played all that object golf back in the day. We used to play object golf with the Ultimate lids and the lampposts. So he looks like a thoroughbred Ultimate player with that form, when in reality he's just been an object golfer his whole life.
Great birdie putt from you, Chris.
We haven't seen a lot of long putts today, but that one looked very clean as we see Jimmy go for a similar look.
just a little shy from Jimmy. You know, that's really shocking to hear about Kevin because he has such an ultimate-esque form with the way he holds his left hand on the disc the whole way before he releases it.
I'm glad you said that. I was disappointed by your guys' response.
I don't know anything about ultimate or disc golf, so
I'm just here.
Yeah, guys, what's up?
I'm just here. Tough break for Jimmy there on that long putt. It is so challenging to find your grip. I have to say, a little bit more warm of a day, and I think he's cashing that in every time. It's really hard to find rhythm, to find your consistency out here in the cold. You obviously can't see it on the camera because everyone's kind of not really bundling up that much, but it is very, very cold out here today.
I want to shout out Jacob's hand warmer that didn't touch the dirt the entire day. I don't know how it just laid on top of his bag. It was a sight to see.
Really interesting. That thing's unfair. It looks so warm in there. All right, folks. After 7, we've got Chris DeMarco and Jimmy Wang. Oh, and Scott and Paul Bolanich all tied at even. Really, really tight race here coming into the latter half of the first portion of this one-round tournament. And we've got Kevin O'Brien and Travis Rollins at +1. I know Travis and Miko was sitting around +1 as well at this point. I know there was quite a few other players in contention. I think we had Kyle O'Brien sitting at around +2, +3. So definitely tight competition here. Back 9 lead card the tiebreak will be decided by VFDGA number. Hole 8, par 3, 327. That bush at the front of the tee is very in play here. And you can see on the upper right side of your screen there, the trees really do hang out high and to the side, which makes the high backhand turnover very, very challenging, especially because there does seem to be a little bit of a right to left wind. So if you see someone going backhand, it really is a riskier play. I think that the sidearm hyzer push is a lot more of a smart play here.
As we see you here going with your VIP Tersis for the turnover. And you're long. That is... That's the first time I've seen someone go long with the turnover.
Yeah, I think the tailwind kind of just caused that one to level out. I got a really, really full kind of Paige Pierce flight out of it.
Yeah, not really the result you wanted, but, I mean, you're huge, so...
Speaking of huge, Jimmy Wang just drop a hyzer right under the back. Oh, nope. See, that's it. There's always a little bit of a right to left wind. And if you didn't have this bush here, you'd be able to kind of start your disc a little flatter and tighter inside, let it get that turn, but you have to push the whole way on hyzer, which, especially for the AM field, makes this such a challenging shot.
Money.
And Jacob shows everyone what you're supposed to do on this hole.
Yeah, and if you think about it, this is such a high percentage shot right here. I mean, worst case scenario, he doesn't get as much turn as he wants, and he's a little short right. But this is really the quintessential example of the high percentage shot here on hole 8, Camp Tecumseh. It's I can't say it enough. It's so hard to push the latter half of those sidearms, but he's able to do it there. Kevin, realistically, I don't think this is a hole that he needs to get a 2 on. He's definitely a more backhand dominant player. So if he can just get up and down for the 3.
Wow, it's really impressive to see him going with the forehand touch shot here.
Yeah, that's a surprise for him.
Seems uncharacteristic for his game.
Maybe he was just trying to do a little like safe bid there. I'm not sure, but I love to see it.
Maybe drawing a bit of inspiration from Jimmy.
Yeah, and Jimmy, speaking of ultimate players, he's got like all the little additional things that you do to fool a defender. Like, not only did he play ultimate, he was incredible. I think he might have even been like a handler.
Wow.
He's just got incredible work out there on the ultimate field. He still plays to this day. I mean, to be late 20s and like, how do your knees? Please tell me, Jimmy, how are you doing that? My knees hurt after 1 round. I can't run anymore. Like, what is he doing?
Nice bird.
Great 2 from Jacob. Really hoping this kind of ignites his round and he can start accruing more birdies as he moves on.
Yeah, and you see the wind, the camera's finally picking up just how strong the wind is. I mean, we were dealing with similar conditions to this inside the woods. You just didn't really hear it. Kevin cleaning up the par. Looks like Jimmy will do the same. All right, hole 9, par 4, 523. This is a tee shot where you can really just put the hoof down and go donk.
There it is. We were waiting for it.
I couldn't get that out clean.
What the?
All right, guys, it's really long, and it goes to the right.
Yeah, it's a pretty soft par 4. You just kind of put something out there, and the second shot's pretty rudimentary.
Yeah, you just want to go aggressive. Go aggressive off the tee. Don't get too caught on the side. That's a cricket term, by the way, that I heard the other day. I really wanted to get that out clean. Couldn't. But anyway, Camp Tecumseh, winner at Valley Forge. We're here on the tee. A lot of the guys, you can see up ahead at hole 10, a lot of the guys finished it even. So if you're on this card coming in, you're really, really trying to get this last birdie here. Get a little bit of an extra push into the back 9. This kind of feels like almost the end of its own round at this point because it's a one-round tournament.
Yeah. And with the length of this event, every 9-hole circuit is worth that much more.
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys trying to compete for their first VFDGA major title. So far in the field, we have me, Scott, and David. All have VFDGA major titles, but I think that theirs have a little more weight than mine. It only gets harder every year to win. I gotta say, the field keeps getting deeper, and we can see with guys like Jacob, Jimmy, Travis Amico, Travis Rollins, all joining the VFDGA recently. It just the competition keeps growing. We got Evan Losh out here today, who had a great performance at Battle of Greystone Woods.
Jacob saws this approach off just a little bit, but kind of squeaks through. There's some avenues back there. He has a birdie putt. Since when did you start watching cricket?
Cricket's the future, man. It really is a great sport. All right, Jimmy Wang. For him, this is a pretty routine upshot, but this is a very challenging shot here because that big bush really does get in your way. I don't actually think that would be the line where anyone would want to go, but it really can kind of get in your head, make you think you need to throw it higher than you really do.
Wow, put a little bit too much snap on that forehand there.
Yeah, I think that was the moment that I realized that throwing forehands in the cold is an entirely different beast. I have so much more respect for everybody now. I realized I wasn't really gripping my discs at all, sidearm, so just not a good shot. Jacob giving it a long run from 45, almost buries that one for 3.
That's a great putt from Kevin. Putting him back at even
there.
Yes.
And that was huge because, like we said, a lot of the guys at the clubhouse right now after 9 were at even. He has a very low VFDGA number. I think he is number 7.
And if you guys forgot, David Wang won the Spring Invitational here at Tecumseh. So if he's flirting around those leaderboards, watch out for him coming down the back.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I think he had a bit of a rough go. I think he was like +5 after 9. But, you know, we love David.
Great cleanup from our players here.
Yeah. Overall, not a great performance on the front 9, but again, it really does open up quite a bit on the back. I think that, you know, typical AM field, you're going to be seeing scores of -3, -4, -5, perhaps even a little bit lower.
All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the front 9. As you can see here at the Winter at Valley Forge 2021 event here at Camp Tecumseh, we have a huge tie at even. VFDGA number is for the tiebreak. We've got Jimmy Wang and Paul Balanch, who both went to their first event at the Summer Jamboree. So we're going to determine their number today. Heads is Paul, tails is Jimmy. This is for the lead card.
5-way tie for first place at even. Chris, Jimmy, Scott, Paul, Kevin, all sitting at even.
Tails is Jimmy. Tails is Jimmy. All right. Sorry, Paul. Welcome back, Paul. Folks, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the back nine.
All right, guys, so 9 holes in the books here at the Winter at Valley Forge. Now, again, not great performances all around, but I would say everybody kind of kept it together. When you think about the wind conditions, how cold it was, and of course, just the extra nerves of competing for a VFDGA major, playing on camera, I really do think that these guys deserve some respect out there. What did you guys think of the round so far?
I mean, I think that a player like Jimmy Wang, that kid has ice in his veins. You saw he went back and forth a little bit at the beginning, but I believe he parred out the last like 6 holes, and consistency on these colder days is gonna pay off.
Very true.
And I'm actually really impressed with Kevin's level of play. You know, I've seen him play only a handful of times, but I've gotten to know him as a primarily backhand dominant player. So to see him come to this event with a few new tricks is really awesome to see, and it's going to help him out a lot moving forward.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed the front 9 here at Camp Tecumseh. Shout out again to John Copeland, the builder of this course, for letting us come out and play. We had such a great time here through 9. We will see you on the back 9.